Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Brew Jackets. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed podcast. My name is Kevin, and joining me tonight is my co-host, Hefty Duck, as well as the most awesome, wonderful, the man of truth, as well as William, who is a fun person and has the courage. We've invited other people too, so they may or may not come.
And may
But
have scurvy too.
but anyways, a lot of stuff going on in the Blue Jackets world. They played 3 games since our last show. They won 2 of them. They beat the Flames 5-2. They beat the Blackhawks 6-3, and they lost to Montreal. We're going to talk about all those games. There was good and bad in every single game. The Blue Jackets trade David Jirieck. What does that mean for the Blue Jackets? We're going to talk about that. Zach Werenski just continues to be awesome and just so fun and just so good to watch. He set a new Blue Jackets record. What's that record? We're going to talk about that. Kent Johnson, he's been so fun to watch, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to rip on Ryan Day because he's a bum.
Hell yeah.
and he's
What a
lost
bum.
4 straight. He's lost 4 straight to Michigan. Like, what is that garbage?
You
like
bum.
you bum, Ryan Day. You suck.
Fuck
Don't
you.
lose 4 straight to Michigan. And we got a lot of other Blue Jacket stuff to share, and so much more. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Welcome in. Pardon me while I'm making some posts on our social medias right now. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter. I think we have a TikTok. We're on Instagram. That's about it. But you can also find us. We would really appreciate it if you check out our YouTube. We are just Brew Jackets podcast on YouTube, or it might just be the Brew Jackets. In any case, you'll find us. You can see our logo there, and then you'll see our live stuff posted there. We are also on the run for 100 followers on Facebook because we had to make a new one, and we can't stream on there until we have 100 followers or likes or whatever it is. So big shout out to our audio listeners as always. Y'all have surprised me so much this year. It's been crazy. The numbers we've been seeing recently from the audio is definitely, it's pretty sick. Y'all have been great, so thank you very much. So the Blue Jackets broke their winning streak. So they had their first 3-game winning streak for the first time since 2022. This last week before the last podcast, but then they lost. That's all right. They lost in overtime, so they actually are on a 6-game point streak, which I don't think they've. I don't know the numbers on that, but I'm going to guess they have not had a 6-game point streak in quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. But let's go. Real quick before we talk about that, let's go ahead. Let's talk about this David Jirieck trade. So, David Jirieck, he was I think picked 6 overall in the first round by the Blue Jackets, and I'm looking for the post I was just at. And he was traded for Damon Hunt. He was traded to the Minnesota Wild. I'm trying to find the post. Where is it? Oh, well, whatever. I can probably get most of this down. He was traded for... Okay, so Jirieck in a 5th round went to the Minnesota Wild. The Blue Jackets received a Damon Hunt, a conditional 1st-round pick in next year's draft, or like this season's draft. You know what I mean? It's a conditional. Kev, do you know what the conditions are?
Yeah, it's this, that if in the, so they got a 1st-round draft, they got 4 draft picks plus Damon Hunt, and the condition for the 1st-round draft pick is that in the event it's a top 5 pick for this upcoming draft in 2025, then it becomes a 2026 pick. But more like, this isn't to say it couldn't happen. It can, but more likely than not, that is not going to happen because
Minnesota is
is
leading
just,
the league.
yeah,
Yeah.
Minnesota is just playing really good so far this season, and a big reason for that is some of their young talent is really starting to pop off. Guys like Matt Boldy and Kirill Kaprizov and Brock Faber, and they're getting good goaltending and so much more. So this isn't to say that it couldn't be a top 5 pick. It could, but more likely than not, that's not going to happen. So more likely than not, the Blue Jackets are going to get 2 first round. They'll have 2 first round draft picks in 2025, their own draft pick plus the Wild, and then 3 other draft picks from the Wild through in different draft years. But point being, you get one of the top defenseman prospects for the Wild plus 4 draft picks. That seems pretty damn good to me, considering the fact that David Jirieck, he's shown he can be good with the Monsters and the Blue Jackets, but he's been asked to fix his skating twice and has not done that. And he just seems like there are times where he's not just quite there yet. And it seems like it's a motivation issue. Like he feels like that he's ready and he wants to be there. That's fine. You can feel that. But in reality, you're not quite there yet because you've had multiple people in the Blue Jackets organization tell you that you're not ready yet. From Pascal Vincent to Jarmo Kekalainen, probably John Davidson, now to Don Waddell and Dean Evason. Most likely that just say that we like what you see from there, but you need more time to cook in the minors. You're not quite ready yet. And, obviously he must have not have liked that. So a trade off he goes, and maybe the Wild can get him to understand that you need to fix your skating and work your ass off because you have all the tools to be good. You just need to put the effort into it. But that's how it is. So I'll just finish up by saying, you get one of their top defenseman prospects and 4 draft picks for David Jirieck. That's pretty good by me.
And as far as we know, everyone's happy now too. I think he was not happy not being able to play and everything. But I got one question about this for you. Who do you think won the trade, so to speak?
It's even.
Yeah, I think it's really. I don't think Don Waddell is not going to go for something that's at least even on his part. Yeah.
Because you know what? If you look at a Minnesota standpoint, in the future, their defense is going to be, if David Jirieck works out, their defense is going to be really good. They're going to have a Brock Faber. They're going to have a Jared Spurgeon. They're going to have a David Jirieck, a Jonas Brodin, who's good. So like that's if Jirieck works out and you put him to what they already have, that's a pretty good defense. As for the Blue Jackets, again, you get one of their better defenseman prospects. He's, from what I've read of him, he's like a guy that has the potential to be good defensively, a little offense, but mostly defensively. And also, this isn't the most important thing of what I've read of him, is that he can skate. And if anything, especially since Dean Evason and Don Waddell came in, the one big emphasis has been that you need to be able to skate. Even look at what Don Waddell did in this year's past draft. There was a theme. The theme, generally speaking, of a majority of those draft picks was, are you big? Can you play defense? Can you skate? You look at what he had at Carolina on defense. They were big. They could skate, play defense. There seems to be a theme of where things are going with the Blue Jackets as well. Provorov, Werenski, Jack Johnson, big. Can you skate and all this other stuff? So you get a guy that looks like he's going to be good, and you get 4 draft picks. You can use that however you want. You can use those 4 draft picks to draft some guys. You can use those. You could use one of those draft picks to go get someone. You could use all 4 to go get someone. A whole different variety of stuff that you can do. So I honestly don't think there is a winner either way. It's both teams got something good out of it. It's even.
Yeah. No, I think I would agree with that as well. It's got to be pretty even. But I got to ask, I know William was maybe a little disappointed by this trade. What are your thoughts on this, and how are you feeling today?
I was heartbroken when that trade came out. I don't know if you saw. I talked about this last time I was on. There's this Instagram account. They post like the win memes and stuff. It's called Unstable Jackets Fan Counts like that. Me and that account felt the exact same way because you got to remember, Jirieck was the guy. Remember, kissed the logo on the jersey after he was drafted,
Yeah.
and he had so much love for this team, and he did good for us, when he was here. And then towards the end of his little run here, it kind of all like the love you could tell kind of like faded away, and like things fell out. It was rough.
Well, I think part of it maybe had to do with his agent as well.
Yeah.
Looking to get him the biggest deal at the biggest price too. I do have the details from this trade. Just real quick though, the other picks. Conditional first round pick 2025, 2026 third and fourth round picks, and a 2027 second round pick. That could be huge. So, sorry, William. Was there anything else you wanted to add? If not, I'll go over here to Bees.
Nope, that's everything.
All right, young Beezer. I know you are mostly a Flyers guy, but I gotta ask, what did you think about this trade? Was it shocking? I mean,
Not really. I mean, obviously, David Jirieck was, apparently a lot of teams, were looking at this guy and were thinking, you know what, we could use a guy like him. And apparently the Flyers were one of them. I don't know. I don't know if Daniel Briere was like really like all that invested in trying to, pull all the stops out to, go get him. But I feel like, a lot of people over here were like, hey, we could use a guy like him, maybe trade.
The Blue Jackets are rumored to be looking for another young player, kind of like Jirieck, just different. And the Flyers have a lot of. I was gonna say, I mean, just they have a lot of young players on the Flyers too. That was a huge rumor that was going around too, that they were trying to make a deal work.
Yeah, but I think David Jirieck can blossom his abilities out there in Minnesota. I feel like he didn't really have that much opportunity over there in Columbus. Obviously, I wouldn't know because look at me, but no, I think he could be pretty damn good, and I feel like I've seen him play and showcase some of his abilities, and he can obviously be a very tough defenseman, to get by, and but I think this was a win-win deal for both teams, obviously.
Yeah. No, I think it'll work out in the end. I mean, everything I've seen from Don Waddell since he's been here has so far not have any blowback, not been the wrong moves at all that I've seen. I'm not. There's no one around who is like, why did he do that? You know how like, and this is absolutely zero offense to Jarmo Kekalainen, but there were some moves occasionally where it was you could tell like maybe like he had like little favorites. Not that like he favored someone over the others, but like there was people who he made like executive decisions on to keep them around instead of maybe moving other players. That when Waddell came in, immediately moved. I mean, I'm talking about Eric Robinson, and Liam Foodie. Wasn't Foodie moved last year already though? Yeah. So, and it's not that Eric Robinson's anything. In fact, I think he's doing really well with is he with the Buffalo Sabres now?
Carolina.
I've heard his name on the broadcast quite a bit when I do watch other games. So, sometimes you just need that change of scenery. Good luck to David Jirieck. I hope you are able to do well for the Wild. I think it might be a similar system to what's starting to happen here in the Blue Jackets. But, I mean, who would have thought the Minnesota Wild are sitting at 36 points right now? They're 6-4-4. That's insane to me. So, good luck to you, broski. Good luck.
Merchants here over here, man. Unbelievable.
So, let's let's talk about some games real quick. I'm going to run through some stats as always, and then I'm going to talk about the points leaders as well. And there's a specific guy that we're going to talk about a lot. It's Zach Werenski. So stick around, and we will be getting to that soon.
But
So
first, we got to talk about the 3 games that were just played first, though.
yeah, no, that's what I'm doing.
Perfect.
Yeah, right now I'm about to launch into it. So first game that broke the win streak for the Blue Jackets was against the Montreal Canadiens. That was last Friday at 3 in the afternoon. I was a little bit bummed because I was at work, but this was a very even game. From the get-go, it was very even. Blue Jackets, Matthew Olivier started off scoring about 10 minutes in the game. Slavkovsky got a goal tied it up for the Canadiens at 13 minutes. Second period, the Blue Jackets came out scoring again with the goal from Chinakhov. Cole Caulfield tied it up on a power play goal. You'll notice some of that trending with the power play goals in the next few games too. And then so it switched around for the third period. The Habs, Emil Heineman scored first at 8 minutes 22 seconds, and then Werenski tied it up with a sick goal at the very end. Unfortunately, in overtime, just 44 seconds in, the Habs captain Nick Suzuki scored his eighth goal of the year. So that's a bummer. Let's talk about some penalties real quick.
Yeah.
Because there was some penalties. And I think there was Matthew Olivier fought twice. And this game...
No, Calgary, he fought twice.
Okay. But in this game, didn't Zach Werenski fight? And that gave him a Gordie Howe hat trick because he had an assist and a goal. So
yeah.
Love to see it from Zach Werenski. Like I said, the penalties were high. That's why I started talking about the fights. The first period wasn't anything big. But there was 6 penalties. Oh. Okay, never mind. 2 of these are for the guys who were fighting. So what happened was Brendan Gallagher got a slashing call against Werenski, but he also got a slashing call against Gallagher. And then they both got, they got into it, and they both got 5 for fighting. So that's funny.
Brendan
Maybe it's not quite as crazy as I thought.
Studied.
Yeah.
Brendan Gallagher, he's been awful.
So, do you got any thoughts on the game itself, Kev?
Yeah, I
hear from it.
Yeah, I do. That was kind of an average at best game for me for the Blue Jackets because there was times where it just looked awful. They just looked sloppy. I don't know what was going on there. And there were times where they looked awesome. But for me personally, that was like a 5 out of 10 game for me because when it comes down to this, you look sloppy at times, look slow, and then times where you do look awesome. But what is the deciding factor in that game? The Blue Jackets have 3 chances to score in the power play. They do not. Montreal has chances to score in the power play. They do.
They're 1 for 2. Jackets 0 for 3. Yeah.
One of the things I know Montreal's not doing the greatest right now. Obviously, that could change, but one of the things they have going for them right now is that they are good on the power play. You cannot give them any chances to score because if you do, stuff like that happens. And that was a big reason why the Montreal beat the Blue Jackets the first time they played them this past season. So that's a big difference right there. Is you give them a chance to score in the power play, they score. You have 3, then you don't score, and then they lose. And I want to win in overtime, but if you have to lose, I would accept it more if like both teams had chances to score in overtime and then eventually one team scores. Like, well, at least you tried, but you didn't even get that chance to score in overtime. You let them score 44 seconds in. And then there is a debate. Kent Johnson has the puck in the offensive zone, and there's debate I've seen on Twitter among Blue Jackets fans where if they think it was a penalty or not, if Nick Suzuki hauled down Kent Johnson. You can make the argument it was or it wasn't. Dean Evison seemed to think that was a penalty, and he voiced his frustration with that at the press conference after the game. So, some good stuff, but it could have been better. You got to score on the power play when you have a chance. You didn't do that. They score on the power play when you do that. And then, like I said, you don't even get a chance to win in overtime. You let them score 44 seconds in. So, average at best game. It could have been better. So, Yeah.
Well, you bring up a good point there. Like, so a penalty or not, they had 60 minutes to score another goal, from the first 3 periods, right?
Yeah.
So it could have not even gotten to that point. Maybe, it's unfortunate, but hey, we have a regular joining us here. We have Mr. Bjork Swag, Owen himself. How's it going, Owen? Welcome in.
Good. What's going on, fellas?
Not a whole lot. I got a bit of an echo coming from you.
Not good.
That's all right. Can you hear us still pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't hear it in the background anymore. So, good deal.
Right.
We were just talking about the win against Montreal. I'm sorry, the win against the lose against Montreal. We're about to talk about the win against Calgary. Now, yeah, I think we were pretty much done talking about that. So Calgary is going to be playing the Blue Jackets again here very soon. The Blue Jackets have a Western Hockey road trip coming up here soon. And that is going to be tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, against the Flames in Calgary. So this was the first meeting of the year for them, I think, right? They won 5-2. It was a very decided game. There wasn't much doubt in my mind that they were going to win this as well. It's absolutely killed it. And in this game, guess what helped them out? Getting the power play goal. They were 1 for 1. They only had 1 power play, and they capitalized on it. But then again, they gave up a power play goal to the Flames.
Yeah.
And that's, like I said, that's going to be kind of a trend coming up. So real quick, I'll go over the scoring and the points, and we'll talk about the game. So I think Adam Fantilli, had 2 goals in this game. His first goal, so he has 4 goals for the season. His first goal was the power play goal, just about 12 minutes in. A few minutes later, Kent Johnson comes out with a goal. We'll talk about him in a bit too, because him and Werenski are on some killer point streaks right now, some amazing point streaks. Speaking of Zach Werenski, he then started scoring for the second period, his 8th goal of the year, to make it 3-0 the Blue Jackets. Now, Blake Coleman would get a goal 10 minutes later, with 5 minutes left in the period. And then in the third period, Adam Fantilli comes out. He was on a line with Marchenko and Dante Fabro, and he made it 4-1. Nazem Kadri made it 4-2 on the power play for Calgary. And at the very end, Kirill Marchenko comes in with his 9th goal of the year for an empty net goal. So that was sick. Mm-hmm. There was some fighting. There was. We saw a fight from Jake Christensen. He fought Martin Pospisil. Anyway, help me here.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then Olivier, he got a boarding penalty against Joel Hanley, and then Braden Patchell got a roughing against Olivier, but then Martin Pospisil once again fighting. He fought Matthew Olivier, and I don't know about y'all, but I think Matthew Olivier totally won that.
Matthew Olivier owned that fraud.
I mean, I think he's won every fight I've seen him in this year. I don't know why people are still trying to fight Olivier. Like, what What are you doing?
It's not to say that you can't fight Matthew Olivier. You can,
You
but
shouldn't.
yes, that you were about to get to what I was about to say there, Hefty Duck, is that it's not to say that you can't fight you can't fight Matthew Olivier. You can, but should you? Should you? And the answer to that question is, hello there, Blue Junkies. The answer to that question is no. You should not fight Matthew Olivier because it does not work out well for you. Matthew Olivier has absolutely destroyed multiple people he's fought, from Matt Rempe, to the guys, the Calgary people he fought, and so many other people. Just don't fight Matthew Olivier. It is not a good idea. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Could be a bad time.
It's not good.
Gotta quit testing this gangster. Obviously.
He did have another fight later on in the second period. It was very close to the end of the period. He and Ryan Lomberg went at it, and that was dangerous. So the third period was kind of nuts though too, because there was some more pushing, shoving, fighting going on. And in fact, I personally look. There's been times where it screwed them, but personally, I didn't mind. I don't mind when Ellis gets heated. He got a penalty of roughing against Mackenzie Weegar. Now, if there's not anyone on the ice like Olivier and obviously Branson or Voronkov, and Ellis has to stand up for himself, by all means, you know what? Stand up for yourself. I don't know exactly what was going on off the top of my head, but then Kent Johnson got a tripping call against Kevin Rooney, and that's restarts the game. Adam Fantilli had 2 goals for 2 points. Renski had 1 goal, 1 assist for 2 points. Elvis Brzlikins had 2 goals against, had a .931 save percentage. Elvis has been showing up and showing out pretty decent lately.
Yeah, yet again, another person who likes to show off his gangster.
Yeah, he don't back down. But I see Kevin has something pretty cool here for us, I believe. He's got a clip lined up for you.
Yeah, so I have a lot of stuff to share today, and I'll get to that. But the first thing I want to share is the second fight that Matthew Olivier got into in the game against the Flames. He won both fights, but the second one, he absolutely destroyed this dude. He did. But the first fight, I have something to say about that, is that originally he asked the first dude, "Oh, do you want to fight?" And he said no. And then, okay, he backed off, like, okay, fine, whatever. And then the replay, they show it during the game. That little weasel, he says, "No, I don't want to fight." And then when Matthew Olivier, it's during the play, and that little weasel goes by when Matthew Olivier's not looking, he gives him a little whack with the stick, and then Olivier looks at him like, "Dude, like, what the heck, man?" And then that's when he went after him, like, "You can't pull that shit off. Just don't do that."
Yeah, like, if you're not willing to fight, maybe you should.
Yeah, don't do it. Yeah, like, don't whack someone with. You say, "I don't want to fight," and then when you're not looking, you whack someone with a stick. Like, don't do that. So then he goes after him, and he kicks his ass. But the thing that I hated is that there were Calgary players that were trying to pull him away. It's like, dude, it's not your fight. Back off. Like, back off. It's not your fight. I've never seen that. In all my years of watching hockey, when a dude fights, it's just those two guys that fight, they duke it out, and then they move on with their life. I've never seen it where you have an opposing team on the ice trying to
afraid for their own player that bad.
Yeah, like, try to break it up, jump in and break up. Like, dude, back off. It's not your fight. It's not your fight. Back off.
And he chose to fight when he decided to do some other dirty shit.
Yes.
After he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to fight," then don't do dirty shit.
Yeah.
You got 2 choices, man. That's
so I didn't like that how they're fighting, and then they got the Calgary Flames on the ice. They're jumping in to try and stop it. Like, no, it's not your fight. Back off. And then on top of that, when the fight is almost done and the refs are trying to stop it, that's when he gets in there and does a little dirty shot. Like, fuck off. Like, don't do that. Like,
couldn't
don't
swing
do
until the refs
that.
got in the middle. He couldn't do anything because
Like,
Yeah,
don't
I'm
do
seeing
that.
it,
Like,
guys.
don't do that. That's stupid. But so that first fight happened. That's my thoughts on that. Now, the second fight, he just kicked the shit out of this dude. He destroyed him. No questions asked. It was like, why did you do that? And so the fight was cool, and I got a video of that. And the fight was cool, and I'm gonna show the video of that. So here we're gonna back this up.
So here's the Blue Junkies. They got another comment for us from real quick. They say don't know how they didn't call a third man penalty. Olivier was held back by a Flames player and ate a couple punches, then Z threw the Flames player off. Yeah, I saw that too. They were like basically sitting there holding his arms back. Like, dude, didn't that kind of happen almost to Voronkov too? Or
No,
like in the next game?
What happened to Voronkov? He got in a fight in the Blackhawks game, and his jersey's over his head, and he couldn't do shit.
He was still throwing good punches,
and he still found a way to win and toss the guy to the ground.
Yeah,
but we'll get there. But no, I do agree with you there, Blue Junkies. Like I said earlier on, like he was getting, in the fight, and towards the end, they're holding him back, and then he gets in there and gets a cheap shot on him. Like, don't do that. Like, that's bad. Don't do that.
And anyway. I can only imagine. Like in that. When was that? When was the Calgary game? A couple days ago.
This past Friday.
And yeah, that's probably gonna lead into some stuff. At the Saddle Dome.
Almost definitely.
Yeah.
And
there's gonna be a lot of emotions on that. It's gonna be an emotional game too.
Yeah, and like, and also with the whole third man thing, you most definitely should. If you're an official, you really should call third man in. That's really like it's not. You can't just grab guys when they're already going at it with somebody else, and that's.
So people get severely injured.
Yeah, people get hurt, and then the cheap shot, and like it doesn't make sense for any Calgary player to do that.
But anyways, here's the fight, and it was just so
Respect
cool.
The code.
Matthew Olivier just kicks this guy's ass. Here it is.
Did you see the quote about this fight from him too? It's lagging a little bit, but I think. Oh, there we go. We're good. So his quote was when he heard the Stone Cold Steve Austin music, he said, I don't know. I just blacked out when I heard the Stone Cold Steve Austin intro music, and I don't know. Just went crazy.
Oh yeah. Oh, Stone Cold Matthew Olivier.
Dude, that uppercut. Like, ouch. There it goes. The Flames guys were tapping their sticks, but not with near as much enthusiasm as the Blue Jackets players were. Damn. I can describe it a little bit for the audio listeners. It's hard. If you want to see this, we've shared this on our Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. We've shared it there too. But basically, I mean, the guy came into Olivier first. Like, he made the first lunge, and then Lomberg made the first lunge. Olivier grabbed him, and he had the better grip. I think he had the other guy's right arm sleeve a little bit, so it was hard for the other guy to even like throw with his right hand.
Yeah, fight onto the left of the left circle or the right circle, depends on what side you're looking at it on. Lomberg's helmet comes off.
They're on the side away from the benches. They're on the penalty box side.
Yeah, then the far side, and Lomberg's helmet comes off almost instantly.
Yeah,
like his helmet comes up. He goes down once he realizes, like, oh shit, I don't have much of a chance here.
What do you think Olivier said right there? So at the very end, he
says, "Oh yeah."
He goes to the penalty box. He's already know he's going to the penalty box, but then like he kind of spins around to the back a little bit, and it looked like he might have said something like "bitch" and then skated away. I don't know. I don't think he said that. I'm just saying he could have.
He said Austin 316.
Oh yeah, so just a friendly reminder, anyone watching out there, if you or listening, if you want to catch us live, keep an eye out because we have a little bit of random schedule right now. But catch us live on wherever. But if you are watching us live, you can leave a comment. We will talk about it on the show probably, unless you're really rude or we don't like you. But Blue Junkie says Olivio fights in 2 times speed. It looks like, yeah, absolutely. Seems like he has an advantage. I mean, he knows where his hands should go at like all times. That's so sick. Anyway, we got to move forward a little bit here.
So, overall, that I'll just give my thoughts here, and then we can get Owen in here too. This was an awesome fight. Overall, it was a good. Overall, it was a good game. Blue Jackets win 5-2, and I feel like that sometimes things were meant to be, like the world is trying to tell you something. And what I mean by that is that game that the Blue Jackets played the Flames was one day before Ohio State played Michigan. And four of the 5 goal scorers for the Blue Jackets were their Michigan players. It was Adam Fantilli, then Kent Johnson, then Zach Werenski, and Adam Fantilli again. Kirill Marchenko gets the other goal. But for something like that to happen, where you win a game 5-2, and on the day before Ohio State plays Michigan, 4 of the 5 goal scorers are the Michigan men, that is something I think that will most likely something that is most likely never going to happen again. Once a once in a lifetime thing. It is just like the world is trying to tell you something that yeah, watch this. The Blue Jackets are going to win a game 5-2, and on the day before Ohio State plays Michigan, 4 of the 5 guys that score the goals for the Blue Jackets are going to be their Michigan players.
You know, that's an ironic point. I like it. I know a lot of people out there are not going to like that. We're Ohio State football fans too. It's just that Ryan Day shit the bed again. So
God damn it, Ryan Day, you damn bum, you suck. Why did you lose to Michigan 4 straight years in a row?
Ryan Day, you piece of trailer park trash. The Rock says that you come down here and
Oh God, Ryan Day, why? Why do you have to lose to Michigan 4 years in a row, you bum?
A little
Seriously.
insider information. I heard he's going to be working at Roosters very soon.
hell
Well,
yeah,
you know
brother.
what?
you take your
I bet.
Rudy Poo candy ass straight to the unemployment
Hey, we are
line.
live. Don't forget.
You know, but
quoting.
just like, oh my God, come on now. Bring back Urban Meyer. He knew how to beat Michigan and win national championships, and he supported the Blue Jackets.
And now players can get paid anyway and receive all they want. Hey, okay, back to hockey.
All right. I'm done ripping
have a
on
third
Ryan
game to talk
Day.
Hockey
I'm
podcast.
done ripping on Ryan Day, even though he's a bum and he lost 4 straight to Michigan. I'm done.
So third game. And their second of 2 wins this last week. The Blue Jackets entered Chicago. They played away at Chicago, and guess what? They broke their was it a 6 road game losing streak? Something like that. It was 6 or 7, and they broke it. They finally won it on the road, and they won it in Chicago against the Blackhawks 6-3. And once again, I told you this was a theme, and it continues on. In the first period, Connor Bedard scores for Chicago on the power play. So, you know, it's going to happen. Their penalty kill had been like really good. It's going to happen. You give them, I mean, you're giving them the opportunity to play with, you know, an extra man. So Provorov, though, he got his second goal of the year just about a minute and a half later. So it kind of quieted the crowd down again. And Kent Johnson made the atmosphere even more grim for Chicago with a goal at 11 minutes, 23 seconds. Second period, Craig Smith started out with a goal, his 6th of the year for Chicago. And guess what? Another power play goal against the Blue Jackets. That's the way she goes, I guess. Yeah. But then Sean Monahan, it was his turn to shut down Chicago, and he got his 8th goal of the season, just a minute, almost 2 minutes later. So, third period, Dante Fabro got his 3rd goal as a Blue Jacket of the season to make it 4-2 at 3 minutes and 0 seconds. And former Blue Jackets captain, the great Nick Foligno, scored his 7th goal of the year to make it 4-3. The Blue Jackets were still leading, but guess what? Another power play goal. So against the Blue Jackets. Luckily, then Kirill Marchenko scored his 10th goal of the year to make it 5-3 Blue Jackets at 10:52. And then at the very end of the game, Dmitry Voronkov got an empty net goal to finish the game 6-3. Now, there was some more fighting in this game. This has been a rough and tough week for the Blue Jackets, and they have shown, and they're showing the NHL and telling them, hey, don't mess with us. It will not end pretty. And even if like a Blue Jackets player loses, I'm doing air quotes for you audio listeners, loses a fight, it's still a scary proposition. Do not and just wait for good Branson too. It's unknown when he's coming back, but like when he's back, there's multiple. And Zach, he showed that he'll throw it on the gloves too. Dude, this team's tough, and they're showing it and they're proving it. And good luck if you want to test that. So Dmitry Voronkov did get an instigator against Connor Murphy, which I don't think that was right. Personally, I don't fully. He got 10-minute misconduct, but Kirill Marchenko was hit in the face by a stick, and it wasn't called. So if you're not going to call a penalty, there's going to be a fight. Duh, that's just what happens. We've all watched plenty of hockey. That's why they used to have, the guys who would hunt you down. They have the enforcers out there because the calls didn't used to come. And if you're not going to call a stick to the face, it's going to happen. So then Wyatt Kaiser got another penalty in the first period for the Blackhawks. Zach Brent's got another penalty too. There was just some other minor penalties throughout the rest of the game that weren't that big of a deal. Sean Monahan was the star of the game with 1 goal, 1 assist. This is from NHL.com, by the way. So Connor Bedard is the second star of the game because even though they lost, with 1 goal, 1 assist. And Zach Werenski, 2 assists. And he has absolutely been killing it. The Blackhawks were 3 for 6 on the power plays. So good for the Blue Jackets for killing off 3 of those. Maybe try not to make it 6 power plays for the other team in the game, but it's whatever. But then unfortunately they had 2 power plays they couldn't capitalize on either. So although I think the one was an abbreviated power play because of more stuff. Anyway, great game from the Blue Jackets again on the road too. They showed that it doesn't matter what night it is, they're going to play to their full potential under Dean Evison.
Yeah.
And it feels like. No, sorry. Continue.
No, it feels like what?
Oh, it feels like that there's a change in the direction of the team actually, and to show my point, I want to talk about. Let's talk about point standings here in a little bit. I do want to keep getting through this because we're getting pretty far in.
So that was a 7 out of 10 game for me but generally speaking, the majority of that game, they played pretty good. You get 6 goals again. For whatever reason so far this season, that seems to be a thing where the Blue Jackets just decide, you know what, I'm going to score 6 goals today,
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that's like, oh, we're going to score 6 goals. We've seen them do it against Colorado, against Edmonton, against Toronto, against Buffalo, and now they did it against the Blackhawks. So pretty good game, generally speaking. Giving up 3 goals is bad, but what makes that even worse is not only did you give up 3 goals, but it was 3 goals on the power play. It's just no. And realistically, looking back at that game now, if you that game for the most part really wasn't that close. The Blue Jackets played a pretty good game there, and if you take away those 3 power play goals, it's a 6-0 game, and the Blue Jackets basically smoke them. But because of those 3 power play goals, you kept them in the game closer than they should have been. And this whole power penalty kill thing started off good, and now it's starting to slip a bit, and I don't like that. And they need to fix that because they can't keep doing this thing where they give up a power play goal or two and expect to win on a consistent basis. They've gotten away the last 3 games. They've given up at least 1 power play goal, and they've gotten away with it by winning 2 games. It's good to know that you can do that, but you just can't keep doing that. Like, you need to fix that penalty kill. So besides that, overall, is a pretty good game. You get 6 goals. Elvis Merzlikins played pretty good, made some big saves. I like it. And like you said, before yesterday, the Blue Jackets had only gotten 2 wins on the road so far this season. Before yesterday, they were 2-8 on the road. That's not going to get it done. So you get another win on the road, so that's good. Now you got 3, and now you got a rest of the big road trip coming up.
4 games in a row coming up.
4 games in a row. Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, Winnipeg. You just need to keep that going. But overall, that was a pretty good game there. 7 out of 10 for me. Played pretty good. And I want to get you in here with just your thoughts on some of the games that the Blue Jackets have played recently.
Well, I think they're playing really good for a team that, was at one point bottom of the division. We're playing some pretty good hockey. That Western road trip earlier in the year killed us. Is really what I'm gathering. As we're starting to tighten things up, we're starting to play a little bit better hockey. And, of course, you're getting production from Kent Johnson that's just out of this world for him. Like, Pascal Vincent really managed him. And you could see that Dean Anderson is getting the most out of Kent Johnson and most out of more players. So, yeah, like you said earlier, when you have a more experienced coach and more experienced GM, things are going to turn around, and they seem to be turning around.
Yeah. In fact, that leads me into something I wanted to talk about that I was kind of going to wait. So let's talk about the standings a little bit, and then we have to talk about Zach Werenski. So the Blue Jackets have scored points now in 6 games in a row. Now, the one was a loss, but it was in overtime, so they got a point for it. And 6 in a row, and they have points in 6 out of the last 8 games they've played. So that's something that hasn't been done by the Blue Jackets in quite a while. So we already talked about Minnesota being at the top of the standings of the entire NHL. They're tied with 36 points apiece with Winnipeg, although Minnesota has a higher points percentage than Winnipeg. Although so does Washington, but they only have 35 points. Whatever. That's probably a divisional thing. So the Blue Jackets, I think at this time last year, were probably like 30th or something around there.
I shared it on the show last week, a stat that around this time, the Blue Jackets were 5-15 last year, and around this time, the Blue Jackets had like a 9-12 record.
The worst team right now is the Chicago Blackhawks with their 8-14-2, and so that's about 16. And so the Blue Jackets are right now, out of the entire NHL, have 25 points, which puts them right between Colorado and Buffalo in the entire NHL standings. So this isn't just the division or anything. Out of 23 games, they're 11-9-3. They're a 543 points percentage, 25 points. Doing absolutely great. In the division, they're 6th. We're in a division with 3 of the top teams in the NHL right now. The Capitals, 35 points. Devils, 34 points. Carolina with 33 points. And we have the Rangers and Flyers at 27. Blue Jackets, 25. So they're beating the New York Islanders and Pittsburgh by 1 point. But they're beating them. And that's something that we can brag about for at least a while. 19th place. That literally puts 13 other teams below Columbus Blue Jackets. We have not been able to say that for a very long time. So just whatever the rest of the season has in store for them, it's already been a pretty. It's been an up year. And I like that. So, but we have to talk about Zach Werenski as well. So he has 12 points in his last 5 games. In his last 8 games, he has 16 points. He has right now. Where'd the game log go? There we go. He has points in the last 6 games in a row. I'm sorry. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He has points in the last 8 games. Sorry, that's why I put 16 points. Whatever. So, and out of the last 10, he has 9. Has 9 games where he scored at least a point. One of those games, he had 5 freaking points, 2 goals, 3 assists. One of those games, he had a Gordie Howe hat trick. Dude is on fire right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if he gets a point tomorrow night, he's already, as Kevin has a nice graphic up here, it says longest point streaks by a defenseman in Columbus Blue Jackets franchise history. The last record was Zach Werenski, tied at 7 with Brian Berard, Yaroslav Spacek as well. Did I say that right? Close enough.
Check, but close enough.
All right, thank you. So the new record is now Zach Werenski beating his old record by 1 game and potentially more because the streak is alive.
So we teased it. I did it teaser in when I began the show that Zach Werenski set a new Blue Jackets record, and like the graphic I put up on the screen says, the new record that Zach Werenski broke was a longest point streak in Blue Jackets history by a defenseman. And as you can see up here on the screen, the previous record was held by Zach Werenski with 7 points. That was accomplished during the 2019-2020 season. And this season, Zach Werenski broke that record by 1 point, and he now has 8 points, an 8-game point streak by a defenseman, the new record for most longest point streak by a defenseman in Blue Jackets history. And that obviously that can continue because he's just been playing so damn awesome. He's so fun to watch. He's cooking and just dominating, and he's just been awesome. It's just been so great to see. He's always been a good player for the Blue Jackets, but for whatever reason, this season, he's really stepped it up. He's taken that next step, a whole new level to his game. He's just been so awesome. And I'm just wondering here. I did, when I was in Columbus for the first 2 games of the season, the first 2 home games of the season, the home opener and then the game against Buffalo. I was hanging out at our bar, both games, but when I was hanging out at our bar before the game against Buffalo, I saw Zach Werenski's dad there, and I'm friendly with him, like he knows who I am, and we started talking and everything. And one of the things he was telling me is that Zach Werenski had worked really hard in the offseason, and he's extra motivated, and he has all these goals that he wanted to do. And he told Johnny Gaudreau that all this stuff. And one of those things he told Johnny Gaudreau was he wanted to make Team USA for the 4 Nations Cup tournament that's coming up this upcoming February and all this other stuff. And this may be right, this may be wrong, but based off of what I know, talking to Zach Werenski's dad, I just wonder if he's extra motivated, him being Zach Werenski,
Well,
to just do extra good because all the stuff he wants to, but in part maybe because of Johnny Gaudreau. So that could be right or wrong, but I just have that feeling that that's probably what it is, because he's always been a good player for the Blue Jackets, but for whatever reason, he's playing so much better this season and taking it to a whole new level.
yeah, no, and I think that probably goes for the majority of the team too.
Yeah.
I mean, really getting coming together as a group. It really. It's been a while since we've seen the Blue Jackets play this. And it sounds maybe kind of stupid, but this together as a team. Because Zach Werenski's individual effort, Monahan's individual effort, Kirill Marchenko, and you can go down, is all huge for the Blue Jackets. But being able to work together, even seeing some different lines out there, and especially as a defenseman, you're going to be out there with some different lines because you're on the ice a lot longer, and just seeing what they can do together is it's pretty sweet. Well, what you got here?
So again, continuing with the whole Zach Werenski talk, I saw this on Twitter, and I gotta share this on the show. But Zach Werenski over his last 8 games, so has 5 goals, 11 assists for crazy. He's a plus 14, 2 game winning goals, 17 block shots, averaging 26 minutes, 12 seconds time on ice. Like we said, he set a record for longest franchise point streak in as a defenseman in Blue Jackets history. Potential Norris Trophy caliber season. I look emoji #CBJ, but 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points, plus 14, 2 game winning goals, 17 block shots.
I think
averaging
he skated the furthest in a game this year too by any player.
Yeah, so it was
4 miles or something.
Yeah, it was double the amount. It was double the amount from Nationwide Arena to the shoe.
Yeah.
It was
insane.
Crazy. But so 5 goals, 11 assists for 16 points, plus 14, 2 game winning goals, 17 block shots, averaging 26 minutes, 12 seconds time of ice. You set a new record for longest franchise point streak by a defenseman in Blue Jackets history. It's just wow. Just been playing so good. Wow.
I was just about to ask Owen his thoughts on Zach Werenski, but he disappeared. Oh, there he is. He is back. All right, I'm going to add him to the stage real quick. What's up, Owen?
Sorry,
Hey, welcome
I
back.
don't know what happened.
You're good.
Owen, what you thinking here on Zach Werenski so far this season?
I mean, it is not a bold statement. It's a pretty safe statement to say that he's having a worst trophy season. I mean, the guy in the last few games, of course, 5 goals, 11 assists is insane for defense, especially one from us. We've known that he's this good for a while, but a lot of people have been sleeping on Zach because he plays in
You're breaking up
Columbus,
a bit
but
there.
I think now.
Gotcha. I didn't quite catch that part of that last bit there. You're breaking up a bit.
Was I was saying a lot of people sleep on Zach Werenski because he plays in Columbus. He's not a household name like Makar or someone who has been on a team with a lot more playoff experience. Like Zach Werenski has been the guy in Columbus since he got here, and that's why I think, in my personal opinion, he's probably the best defenseman we've ever had in franchise history, and he's proving it right now.
Guaranteed. Yeah, I don't think there's a question about it in my mind. I mean, the Blue Jackets history isn't as long as some other teams, but it's long enough to where I think he deserves that. I think captaincy should be in his future and a jersey retirement at some point too. I know this is way early. Dude's he's young. He's very young yet, but for sure. I mean, 27 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Very young yet. That's awesome. Hell yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said there, Owen. What you got here, Kevin?
So Owen, I want you to talk on this because I thought, Owen, you had a good tweet here, and I want you to talk about this. Can we just talk about how insane?
Kent Johnson.
Can we talk? Owen tweeted this, and I like this, and I want him to talk about this. And the tweet is, can we talk about how insane Kent Johnson has been since coming back from injury? Like, he's so fucking good. Hashtag CBJ.
The whole year. I'm gonna let you talk just 2 seconds. I just want to bring this point up because this is a huge deal to me. He was injured early on, but he's played in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's played 9 games. He's got at least a point in every single game he's played in. Anyway, your thoughts,
Owen.
Absolutely insane performance coming out of Johnson right now, especially coming back from an upper body injury, like middle of the season. In comparison to last season, like as I said earlier in the show, I believe Pascal Vincent underutilized him and broke a little bit of his confidence. But I think this year with the new coach and everything, his confidence is high. He knows he's a rock star when he steps on the ice. He knows he's going to be there for the big play. He wants the puck, like he said when he returned in that game from injury. He wants the puck. He wants to have that opportunity to make that shot or that pass across. Like, he has not missed since returning, and I don't think he will not miss. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I do. It's probably easy to say this now. There is probably, maybe he got underutilized and everything but I also didn't think he didn't help. Ken Johnson didn't help his case when you're getting pushed off the puck and, you are probably getting used a bit unfairly. But then when you get pushed off the puck, then that doesn't help your situation. But, hey, that's why he went down to Cleveland to work on that, a bunch of other stuff. And they said, hey, put on weight. And he did that. And I think that's helped him out as well. And Kent Johnson, he's just been so fun to watch this season. Like Hefty Duck has said, he's gotten a point every game that he has played in. Saw this on Twitter, and I wanted to share this. He's got 12 points in 9 games, and the Blue Jackets are 6-3 when he's in the lineup. He has just been so fun to watch. I've enjoyed it. And there's already been 2 goals that he scored that really stick out to me. The one he scored in Colorado was just a snipe. He's got the puck. He's kind of along the boards and he shoots it, snipes it right by Colorado's goalie. No chance. Awesome goal. And it was a similar thing against the Blackhawks. One-timer goal, snipe, just blows it by the goalie. And it was set up perfectly because Damon Severson had the puck kind of wide open, made it look like he was going to shoot it, and then quickly passed it over to Kent Johnson. And Kent Johnson just one time that just blew it right by the goalie. Snipe had no chance. So, Kent Johnson, you've been so fun to watch. Just keep going, man. It's just awesome. I am not saying that he is Johnny Gaudreau because no one will be Johnny Gaudreau. But he is playing like Johnny. He's playing like Johnny Gaudreau. He's showing those Johnny Gaudreau tendencies, the skill, the ability. The goal that he helped set up against Carolina, where Kromarchenko scores to tie it, it's very reminiscent of what Johnny Gaudreau would do when he was with the Blue Jackets. It's Johnny Gaudreau would use his talent and his skill to draw people towards him. He'd have like 2 or 3 guys on him. And then because he did that, there'd be someone open and then he'd pass the puck to him. A goal I remember is last season, the Blue Jackets are in Buffalo. They win 9-4. And one of those goals they scored was Adam Fantilli. And it's Johnny Gaudreau. He has the puck. He's along the boards. He pulls 2 or 3 guys on him. Johnny Gaudreau passes it. Adam Fantilli gets it, shoots, scores. It's a similar thing of what Kent Johnson did in the game against Carolina, where he has the puck, he's along the boards, he pulls 2 or 3 guys on him, and then he passes it to Monahan. Monahan quickly passes it to Marchenko, who's wide open, shoots, scores. Obviously, the Blue Jackets win that game 5-4 in a shootout, but again, but Kent Johnson, awesome. I'm not saying he's Johnny Gaudreau, but he's showing.
He looks like
Johnny,
he's studying tapes of Gaudreau.
Yes, he is. It looks like he's studying tapes of Johnny Gaudreau, and it looks like he's playing like Johnny Gaudreau, and he's just so fun to watch. So Kent Johnson, keep going. You're fun to watch. Just keep going.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see you more. Please don't get injured. It's not your fault.
Well, no, it wasn't. That injury that he got this season was not his fault. It was a freak injury. And I was at that game when that happened. It was against Buffalo. He's, shit happens where he's skating and then Gabranson falls down and then goes right into him. And it's like, well, oops, you can't really do anything about that. Blue Jackets won that game 6-4, but it's like, you can't really do anything about that. But other than that, it's like, damn, Kent Johnson, you've been so fucking good, and it's just been so great to watch. Just keep going, man.
Well, we do kind of got to get wrapping this up. What else do you got for us, Kev?
I got this right here. So, where is it? Okay. So, offensively, the Blue Jackets are doing pretty good so far this season as they are top 10. They currently rank 6th at 3.61 goals per game. So that's pretty good. And they, as of now, they're currently on pace to score 296 goals. And if they did that, they would beat the record that they set during the 2021-2022 season, which was 258. Also, the Blue Jackets, as of now, currently have 4 players that are hovering near a point per game. Kent Johnson, 9 games, 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 points, 1.3. Zach Werenski, 23 games, 8 goals, 18 assists, 26 points, 1.13. Kirill Marchenko, 23 goals, 10 goals, 14 assists, 24 10 goals, 14 assists, 24 points, 1.04. Sean Monahan, 23 games, 8 goals, 14 assists for 8 goals, 14 assists for 22 points, 0.96. Kirill Marchenko had a minus 28 in his first 2 seasons. This season, he's a plus 16. So, pretty good there by Kirill Marchenko. Also, just want to share this about Zach Werenski as of now, at least according to Don Lashuskin, or however the heck you say his last name. Sorry if I said it wrong. Defenseman net rating so far this season, you got Cal McCarr plus 8.2, Quinn Hughes plus 8.2, and Zach Werenski is a plus 7.8. So that's pretty good. Blue Jackets prospect William Whitelaw scored a goal, so we're going to show that off. Oh, what is it? Okay, it is there. So we got to go right here.
Wolverines reverse it. Over on the right side. Shot and in the net. It deflected in. Cameron was sprawling in the goal mouth, and Wolverines reverse it.
So I'll back that up so you can see it. So William Whitelaw is a Blue Jackets prospect who plays for Michigan. And as you're going to see, he's over there, and he's going to pop up over here, and he's going to put it in the net.
Pretty slick. What you want to play the next one?
Okay, so we got that. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, we got the donkey of the game video, or it's Dmitry Voronkov, so I'm gonna play that.
All right, good win, boys. Way to come in here and get that done. Ronnie sticking up for a teammate and closing
You
game
can
out.
up a tiny bit.
Oh, hey, a sec.
Should be good.
Good job.
Hey. Nail gun. All right, good win, boys. Way to come in here and get that done. Ronnie sticking up for a teammate and closing game out.
Good job.
Nail gun. All right, good win, boys. Way to
So, of course, after the game this past Friday, the Blue Jackets win 5-2, and there's the stars of the game, and Adam Fantilli was the first star of the game, 2 goals, and gets interviewed, and they had a little fun with this. There was an OHIO chant at the game because, they played Hang On Sloopy, and Ohio State plays Michigan before the game. Ohio State plays Michigan, so they did OHIO before that game. And also, Adam Fantilli, being a Michigan man himself, at the interview after the game, showing support for Michigan. He said, "Go Blue." So I'm going to play both videos of the OHIO chant and Adam Fantilli saying, "Go Blue."
That's fine. On to the next.
Thank you very much. I love Ohio, but go Blue tomorrow. Boo.
I love a little bit of trolling. And
Yeah.
people get
Thank you
so
very much.
bent out
I
of
love
shape
Ohio,
about
but
shit
go Blue
that
tomorrow.
doesn't matter. Like, okay, so one thing I gotta say, out of all this argument
Thank you very
everywhere,
much. I love Ohio,
people can
but go Blue
turn it down
tomorrow.
or pause
Oh,
it. if you want to.
okay.
Sorry,
Okay.
trying to speak over it. So, okay. On one hand, we have a professional league with professional athletes who have worked their way up through their whole career, their whole lives to come play professionally in a professional league. On the other hand, we have, it's going to sound really mean, but the way that people approach this to me is so stupid. On the other hand, we have a bunch of kids playing a game for college.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, I don't mean to, I don't know. I don't mean to be mean about it, but that's how I see it. And people need to chill on the shit. Like, dude, okay, the smallest thing, at games when the announcer's like 2 minutes left to play, and people go, "And Michigan still sucks." Can we leave that at the Ohio State games? Can we actually continue to do that? But can you just say the other team? Like whenever we're sitting there, just be like, "And the Pittsburgh Penguins still suck," or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Tampa still
No,
sucks.
I do
Just
that. I do
can
that.
we
I do that all the time, bro.
you don't have to stop your little tradition of that, but you just
Well,
can we make it not Michigan,
Yeah.
because
And-
literally we have 4 dudes on the team who went to Michigan.
Yeah. And if anything, I don't like saying this, but right now Ohio State is the one that sucks because Michigan has beat them the last 4 times.
Yeah.
Thanks,
So
Ryan
sad to
Day.
see.
Thanks, Ryan Day, you fucking bum. But
Yeah.
no, I agree with that. Is this whole Ohio State Michigan thing does not really have anything to do with the Blue Jackets. So for some people to freak out because Adam Fantilli or Zach Werenski or any other Michigan guys that the Blue Jackets have show support for the school that they went to is stupid and idiotic. You need to learn to keep that away from the Blue Jackets and understand that that has nothing to do with the Blue Jackets. Like, it is what it is. And if you don't like it, then get off your ass and tell Ohio State to do better at hockey so they start putting better talent into the NHL so that the Blue Jackets can have some of that, really good talent that schools like Michigan provide, But right now, Ohio State's too busy being a football school. And I get it. You're good at football, but Michigan and other schools have proved that you can be good at football and still be good at other sports and get talent in the NHL and other places.
They can be okay at football.
One of those teams that have benefited from it. So
I'm working so hard. I don't care about football.
it is what it is. But just settle down. And those same people that they were totally cool when like Nick Foligno ran out with an Ohio State helmet. So if you're going to be okay with that, then be consistent.
That was really cool, Foligno, though.
It was cool, but like, let's be a little consistent here. If you're going to be okay with Nick Foligno showing support for Ohio State, then it should be okay for these guys to show support for the school that they went to. It just so happened that's Michigan, but it is what it is. Like, thank you, Michigan. Keep sending us good players,
And Ohio State, work on sending us some more.
Yeah. And
anyway,
I don't
we
even
gotta
mean
keep moving.
this,
We gotta keep moving.
I don't even mean this in a disrespectful way, but the best player that Ohio State ever sent the Blue Jackets is R.J. Umberger. R.J. Umberger is a good player and everything, but he's not Zach Werenski or Jack Johnson or Adam Fantilli or Kent Johnson. It is what it is. Like, do better, Ohio State. Do better. So I'm just one last time. I'm just, for the shits and giggles. Here it is.
Thank you very much. I love Ohio, but go blue tomorrow. Boo.
I love Jody Shelley immediately booing too. That's great.
Thank you very much. I love Ohio, but go blue tomorrow. Boo.
All right. On to the next thing, or is that it?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna share this picture. This is scored after the goal in the third period that Adam Fantilli scored, and it's just so cool because it's like celebrating, like, yeah, I scored a goal, and everyone in the crowd's like, yeah. And then you look at the Flames player, and it's like, oh shit.
That's the dude who was fighting earlier in the game.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And the dude, the Calgary Flame, it's kind of like, oh shit, we gave up a goal, disappointment. But then Adam Fantilli was like, yeah, I scored a goal, and everyone in the crowd's like, yeah, let's go. So
I wonder if him and Sillinger have a thing where, like, every time they score, they're going to do the one knee thing. Doesn't Sillinger do that too?
He's done that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
On
So
to the next.
let's see here. His goal and okay, yeah. So yeah, okay. So that's from this. That's all I got. I'm gonna quickly put this up there as I always do. Shout out to my Uncle Doc, a very good guy, an awesome guy, big hockey supporter. Love talking hockey with you. Big Union Blue Soldier supporter. You like the Blackhawks, but I got you to like the Blue Jackets because of me. And unfortunately, you're not here because you unfortunately died this past September. We talked about hockey, and we thought how we thought the Blackhawks and the Blue Jackets would have done this season. And, honestly, I wish you're still here, because then we could have talked about how that Blue Jackets Blackhawks game went and could have gotten your thoughts with it. I was at a bar in Illinois to watch the game because I have Comcast, and the TV channel that the Blackhawks are on is not on Comcast, so I couldn't watch it. So I had to go to a local bar in Illinois where I live called Half Times. Real good bar. It's like their version. It's like an R bar sort of thing. Everyone goes there. Good atmosphere. Sports all over on the TV. And we had family there, and I had a cousin, my uncle, both big Blackhawks fans, and my mom and dad were there, and you would have been there too, watching the game with me, and just I would have, if you were here, I would have loved to talk to you about that game and your thoughts, but unfortunately you're not. But thank you for everything, Doc, and wish you're still here. And I love talking hockey with you. So every show, I'm just going to give a shout out to you. If William was still here, I'd show this off,
Yeah, when wearing the suit.
Just look at this awesome. Just look at this awesome suit that William is wearing. So
Get a load of this jabroni.
just
And he's like a giant too.
good
like
pose. I
6'4".
like this. I like the suit. I like the orange tie. It's good. So William, if you were here, you could have seen the suit. You could have told us the story of this suit, but it looks good. So check that out. You should totally like and share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go check that out. You should do it. Like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell your family, tell your friends. That'd be greatly appreciated. And then last thing for me is you should go check out Union Blue Soldiers. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed group that I run, and we do a lot of cool stuff like marches and so much more. So check out Union Blue Soldiers on all social media platforms. Check out Union Blue Soldiers. All right. I'm done talking. I'm out.
So we'll start with you here. Beezer, was there anything that you wanted to bring up yet? Talk about, promote. Don't forget about the FHL.
Yeah, I always love to promote the old FHL league, but what I do want to talk about is this little outdoor game that you guys got going on.
Oh yeah, tell us a little bit about it.
So I'm doom scrolling on Twitter like how I usually do every day, and I get a little bit of a. I see a quick flash of something, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what was that? That looked bright and red. And I look back up and I see something, that kind of piqued my interest, and I don't know why, but apparently, if I can find this post, that would be great. This is going to take forever.
So what you think you're being kind of a heathen right now? Is that right?
No. Because there is.
What, you cut the craving?
Yeah. There's supposed to be a big performance at the Stadium Series. And
give us the hype.
Yeah, obviously.
What?
I wanted to look at it. So, yeah. 21 Pilots is going to be performing at the NHL Stadium Series. And I thought you guys were going to talk about that. And I want to know how y'all feel about it because, I think obviously not too many people were that hype for the Stadium Series performances in New Jersey. So, what do y'all think? Y'all listen to 21 Pilots or not?
At the risk of feeling dumb, I don't want to backslide here, but yeah, I've been having the craving for some 21 Pilots for quite a while now. I think this concert's going to be very lavish. We're gonna have a lot of like Midwest indigo. There's gonna be a lot of blue in there. It's gonna be kind of weird. So the only thing I'm kind of worried about is navigating through all the traffic to get there. And sorry, I'm literally reading off 21 Pilots songs right now. Just
Yeah.
So I'm not just uttering
No, I
gibberish.
get it.
I'm
I
pretty
get
stoked.
it. I heard and I understand. I understand it now. I understand.
Maybe you'll get it next semester.
Funny.
Kevin, you
I
listen
think
to 21 Pilots or not?
no, I've heard some of their songs. It's good, and the thing I like about it is that 21 Pilots is from Ohio, the Columbus area, and they're like they do with all these sort of events. They try and find someone that is from that area to connect with the whole theme of where this is located. And obviously, the Blue Jackets outdoor game is going to be in Ohio at Ohio State. So they're trying to find someone who is from Ohio. And 21 Pilots, they've had some good music, and they're from Ohio. So I like that. I like that when they try and find some local artists that are from there to play at these events.
Yeah, and
And
specifically, I think they're from Columbus too. Am I correct in saying that?
yeah,
I thought they were up out of
Columbus
Cleveland.
area.
Yeah.
So I like it. It's good. It's and they're really obviously there to a certain degree there is going to be some form of Ohio State Michigan theme there because you have to because it's at Ohio State and you got a team from Ohio, the Blue Jackets, and a team from Michigan, the Red Wings.
You have no choice.
You got to do it. Yeah, you kind of have to do it to a certain degree. I just don't want them to go overboard with it and make it totally Ohio State, Michigan when that's not what it's about. It's about the Blue Jackets and like the Red Wings, like two separate things from college.
They're gonna get to the arena. They're gonna be playing football instead of hockey. Like the teams are gonna be in football pads. Just
no. So and look. You look at it, both schools, both teams, so the Blue Jackets and the Red Wings have guys that played at Michigan on their team. So, it is what it is. There'll be some, semblance, some theme of Ohio State, Michigan there. I just hope they don't overdo it because, put your main focus on the Blue Jackets and the Red Wings playing hockey. The game itself, that's what it is. The Ohio State, Michigan stuff and it being at the shoe, that stuff is extra stuff. That is what it is.
Owen, are you hyped for this?
I'm very hyped. I'm still trying to secure my tickets, but I think I'm getting
go, brother.
Some tickets for me, Jess, and my sister to go. It's going to be a fun hockey experience. And my second outdoor game of all time. First NHL one.
Sick.
That was the first one. Was it an Ohio State one?
Yeah, it was Ohio State and Michigan in Cleveland.
That was pretty sick. So, Owen, while we're talking to you, do you have anything else that you'd like to mention yet real quick or promote?
Connor Murphy, we no longer claim you. You are not from Columbus. Get your bags out. All right. Go ahead and support the FHL. We're running that back up again. And if you are looking to join an EASHL club on Shell, the CTE Assassins are taking new players. So if you want to join a club, join ours.
Hell yeah. Do it.
If you want to get CTE, you should join the Assassins.
Metaphorically speaking.
No, we're handing out concussions.
You're just gonna knock them out whenever they join their initiation.
2-for-1 special.
Punch to the side of the head. All right. Well, we gotta end this now. So
okay, yeah. Well, I know I said I lied when I talked and I was done. I was out and I started talking, but now I'm done talking and now I'm out.
Word. All right. Well, thank you all for being here again tonight. We will be back here again next week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Sorry, excuse me. Let me double check the Blue Jackets schedule real quick to make sure that is accurate. That will be Tuesday, December 10th, there is a game. So we will be coming at you again on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern next week, Monday, December 9th. We'll see
Hey,
you then.
who did the Jackets play next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday is the Flyers. So good luck to you. It's a home game for the Blue Jackets. Flyers will be coming into town with good old friend John Tortorella coaching them. So, stay tuned for that next week, but make sure to follow us wherever we got social medias on Facebook, Twitter, whatnot, and we will see you again then. Have a good week.